Welcome to the Stray Dog Film Lounge. We're three stray dogs that bonded over our love of movies.
I'm Collin.
My name's Ross.
And I'm Ian. Today we'll be talking about M3GAN, the new Blumhouse movie, and Todd Field's 2001 feature debut in the bedroom that was recommended by Collin.
Yes, sir.
All right, so are we talking about, I guess we're talking about M3GAN first, huh?
Yeah.
So it was my idea that we watch M3GAN because what other big movies are out this week?
You know what I didn't know is that it was PG-13.
That is like, that's very like typical January movie is like, here is the PG-13 horror movie that all the teens see.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
You didn't like the movie?
Did not care for M3GAN?
Yeah, it was kind of boring. It was really like predictable too.
Yeah.
I feel like if they deviated from like a scene that really drove me crazy was when they show M3GAN for the first time with the niece and that, shitty boss character, and it's sort of like, I want so many of these, we're gonna do all this stuff and blah 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 blah. I'm like, why not have a character literally be like so fearful of this thing that it's like, this is a cool ass invention, but this is not a good idea to sell to people.
I feel like that goes into a deeper problem, which is Ronnie Chieng, who plays M3GAN's boss.
Guys, we've lost the plot on the audience. We should probably explain what M3GAN is.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
We're only on episode 2. What's M3GAN about?
On episode 2. The M3GAN movie is about a woman creates a killer robot doll that is so lifelike it becomes almost like a parent.
Yeah, it's like she creates this robot with the intent of taking care of her niece because she can't be bothered to.
Because she's too career oriented. She didn't want to have to take care of her niece, but then her sister and her husband dies, so she's left in the will to take care of her niece Gemma. Actually, no, her niece Katy. Her niece.
Gemma's the
aunt.
Gemma's Allison Williams famous from Get Out, and.
Yeah.
With Allison Williams, I don't think she can play a protagonist. You know what I mean? There's just something. Like Jordan Peele made perfect use of Allison Williams in Get Out.
I'm gonna be the main defender of this movie. I think I'm gonna be fighting two guys.
Are.
I thought Allison Williams was good casting because she does represent a kind of a human disconnect. Like, she does have kind of an unfeeling nature, and her character is an asshole. Like, she's mean to that neighbor's dog. She's a bitch to that neighbor. She doesn't really... She built a whole robot so she doesn't have to do the work of taking care of a child,
But at the end, it's never reconciled. You know what I mean?
There's no completion to any kind of arc with her.
Yeah.
It
didn't feel complete.
Oh, she becomes, like, a parent, like, after having to deal with... some crazy shit. I mean, the other thing that I just don't like about her is the fact that she, like, half the time she doesn't even give a shit about her niece. I get that's the point of her character, but I want one of these types of movies to literally be like putting their work on the back burner. It's something where I've seen this before. Like, this should have been the Child's Play remake that came out a few years ago.
I mean, this is better than the Child's Play remake, like, isn't it?
I mean, I never saw it.
I think so, too.
I think the context behind it makes more sense. Like, this seems like a product that would exist in the real world more than that weird revamped Chucky doll that's creepy on purpose.
The product is great. I think M3GAN's creepy as shit. But I think everything around that character is boring and dull.
No, I disagree, because I like the aesthetic of this world, like what it's going for. Like, it's not in the near future. It basically takes place in modern day, and I
think it takes place in like 2025.
But it's like pretty much now, because like all the technology looks pretty current. She's using Photoshop, and it looks like normal Photoshop.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I think like what the movie's like. I mean, obviously, what the movie's trying to talk about is iPad kids.
Yeah, I think that this movie definitely touches on some very salient themes, And what was really interesting is that after I watched this movie, my laptop just bugged out and died the next day.
Yeah.
And
I don't think it's just about technology bad.
No, there's more to it than that.
oh yeah, no, it talks about our dependency.
It's about raising children in this current world of technology and the amount of slack we give to technology to do the work for us.
Yeah, well, that was also when we were kids, too. Like, the TV and the internet, even though it was in early days, that essentially raised us for the most part.
Yeah, but I mean, TV and video games, yeah, but we weren't like, this was pre, like, now everything's run on an algorithm that's tracking your interests and catering things for you.
That was the interesting part about it, because, like, how M3GAN is able to detect the emotions.
Exactly. So that's what's scary, because that's like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, that's fine, and it's scary, and I really dig that, but I want more than that with the other characters.
I mean, I think what you're missing is, like, do you wish it was, like, scarier? Because I agree, like, it's more, I think it leans more towards the satire.
It needed to be scarier, because even, like, in the beginning of the movie was very RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the Furby thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's something where I wanted the film, A, to be R, and B, to have more of a horror edge to it.
Yeah.
I think you really could have combined the two.
Which is surprising, because I should mention, do you know who wrote this?
Akila Cooper.
Akila Cooper, yeah, the writer of *Malignant*.
And that's what I was going to say about this movie. Is
I didn't like that either.
No. I really like Akila Cooper's work. I think her writing is really funny. She has a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
My main qualm with this movie is the direction. Gerard Johnstone, who directed it. Because I looked at an interview too, and he said that he didn't want to make a campy, goofy film like Child's Play.
Yeah, he did.
And he said what he was going for was a self-aware and offbeat film. So, which is the most annoying thing about contemporary Hollywood is the self-awareness.
It's definitely self-aware, but it is still campy, goofy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not anything what he's describing, like, at all.
Yeah, I don't think the director understood the writing, because it's not self-referential.
Not at all.
The comedy's not self-referential. It just is. It just exists.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoy Akila Cooper's script. I think it's a good script. I just think the casting and the direction is wrong in this movie.
I think Alison Williams, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think she works in it, at least for the first and second acts. Because I do think she does play that, like, uncaring...
Oh, yeah.
parent figure really well, and I think that works for the themes the movie's trying to present of, like, just bailing on your kids and shoving it off to some technology that we don't even fully understand,
Yeah. I just think that it's something, I don't have an issue with the writing like Collin. It's like you said, it's like the direction, the acting choices. I feel like technically it's a well-made movie, but it's just really boring.
And also, all the actors are on a different page in what type of movie they're in.
Yeah.
Like Ronnie Chiang, the guy who plays Gemma's boss, is a Malaysian comedian. And he's totally hamming it up. And I enjoy it, but it's just totally off kilter with what Alison Williams is doing.
Like, that should have been more of an Elon Musk type.
That guy should have been played by Stanley Tucci, man.
What is with you and Stanley Tucci?
Stanley Tucci is a great American actor.
Yes, I agree with you. His work in Transformers 4 was incredible.
Impeccable.
Can we acknowledge the performance of the two performers that play M3GAN, though?
Oh, she did the best, or they did the best, I should say.
So M3GAN's body is performed by Amy Donald, who is, how old is she? I don't know, she's like 12 or something. She is phenomenal with the movements and just the...
Oh, yeah.
Like and she has the body language down, like it's robotic, but also you get that sense of sass that M3GAN has.
Yeah.
And then also Jenna Davis, who's an accomplished voice actress. She's great in this too. What is she known for? She's on Infinity Train, stuff like that.
I really loved when when Megan, she's in the woods and she's chasing down the bully. Like, her being on all fours, I was like, oh, that's creepy as fuck.
The fact that, like, a little girl is able to do that while also wearing a silicone head.
Yeah.
Is so...
That takes fucking
She's
talent.
An athlete. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if she has a background in gymnastics and stuff. Big props to Amy Donald. And also, I did like that scene in the forest is awesome with that bully. Like,
It's delightful because he's such a little shithead.
when he tells his mom, fuck you.
Yeah, that was great.
Because that's also
great.
such a great satire on the types of parents. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have done any babysitting, but the types of
Thank
kids.
God, no.
I've had to do. I did a lot of babysitting in college, especially for my dad's clients, who are all predominantly on the wealthy side because he's a massage therapist, and the kids just aren't that well behaved at all. In fact, they are the type of kids that tell their parents to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
You know.
But they're always like, oh, he's an angel.
And they would always say to me afterwards, Collin, how was so and so? And I would just be like, well, to be honest, he called me an asshole today, and he said that I'm a loser, and that and et cetera, et cetera. And they was just like, well, you just don't get him yet. You gotta understand him better.
I'd say fuck off.
And so after a while, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna help these kids grow. So whenever the parent asks me, how was my kid today? I would just say, they were great. You know what I mean?
I kind of have a similar experience because one school I went to was all grades. So there'd be times where we would be in class with little kids. For the most part, they were fine. There was like a couple like pain in the ass here, maybe pain in the ass there. But for the most part, they weren't too rambunctious. And then now with this like current generation of kids, it is off the wall a little bit.
And these kids will cry if you take their iPad away from them. Or if you shut the computer off. Like, they will go feral if they're without this stuff.
And that's why I think Megan works so well as a metaphor. It's like, we literally built the perfect friend for her.
Yeah.
But like, now we're like, oh, she's murdering people, we better take her away. Now look what you've done to the child. She's like flipping the fuck out.
I know, and I loved how annoyed Allison Williams got, too, at the girl, who, by the way, was played by Violet McCraw. And she did a great job. Mm-hmm. Like, that girl had a great stink face. Like, when she was without Megan, like, I was genuinely scared of that little girl. And so I think she definitely has a career in front of her.
She did a really good job on the scene where, like, she's opening up to Megan.
Yeah, that was like to me, that was my favorite part.
That was also my favorite part because of Megan singing. like that Disney song, that Disney type song.
That was just really creepy more than nice.
No, that was so funny to me. Like the fact that she breaks into this magical song about how she'll always be there for her.
You know what I think is the dumbest thing from this movie, though? That is more from, I would say, the marketing side, is the fucking dance she does randomly at the end of the movie.
I thought that was funny. That made me laugh.
Funny.
That made me laugh.
It's cringe.
I wish there was more dancing for multiple reasons. One, because I like the camp factor. Dancing is fun. And that's what the movie was marketed on. I wanted to see the robot dance. And then two, she did just dance out of nowhere. If it was already established earlier in the movie that she dances and that's a thing she does, then it would be kind of more fun, you know? But it just feels like they just had her dance in this one shot so they have a trailer moment.
We need a GIF.
That's what I'm saying. There's like a major disconnect between the script and the direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think this is a great script.
Yeah, this needed like direction from like a John Waters type.
Or even a Sam Raimi.
Yeah, a Sam Raimi type.
Sam Raimi would be great. Even James Wan.
Yeah, I'm confused why James Wan didn't do this. Maybe he's still working on Aquaman, but like, he should have done this. I will say too, as a side note, if we're talking, you know, for Malignant, I wasn't a big fan of it either. The gore was fun, but it was a basket case ripoff more than anything.
But what's wrong with that? No one sees Basket Case.
I've seen Basket Case many times.
Well, you're a B movie nerd. You know what I mean?
Classic film Basket Case that everyone knows.
Yeah, like this isn't Lawrence of Arabia.
Should be shown in film schools. Just saying.
No, but like that can be someone's entry into Basket Case and that director's work. Like Ian,
I still don't like it.
I mean, also, like, I haven't seen Basket Case, but is Basket Case a better movie than *Malignant*?
Yes.
Okay, then.
I'm not saying it for a biased sense. I'm saying it for a film. It's actually really well done.
I'll have to check it out.
I've been really meaning to get into that director's work because he did Frankenhooker too.
Frankenhooker's awesome.
These are great titles.
Yeah, which was shot in Clifton, New Jersey, my hometown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Neat. That's cool.
Frankenhooker's great.
So this guy makes like really fun sounding films. You should definitely check his work out sometime later on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Frank Henenlotto, and he did Brain Damage, Basket Case, and Frankenhooker.
He did Brain Damage? Oh,
he did.
Dude. That kicks ass too.
This guy knew how to make his exploitation B movies.
Anything else you want to say about M3GAN?
This movie did phenomenally well
somehow
at the box office.
This is very good for a January movie.
Yeah.
It made $90 million on a $12 million budget. And not only that, but it's the second highest Blumhouse production, like, on Rotten Tomatoes. It's the second highest rated.
Is number one Get Out?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, isn't Whiplash a Blumhouse movie?
Yeah.
No, I think that's A24.
No, I think Whiplash is Blumhouse.
Yeah.
So this means that M3GAN is rated higher than Whiplash.
You know, I'll say this, my final thoughts on M3GAN. It's a pretty movie. It's got a cool villain. And I love Brick the Robot because he was my favorite character. And when the kid finally used him at the end of the movie, I was like, finally someone used their brain.
Yeah, that was a cool... That was a fun, satisfying
Robot
thing.
v. Robot. Dawn of Gears.
Yeah, robot fights are just incredibly satisfying in movies.
Yeah, well, that's why there's like 7 Transformers movies.
Yeah, it's just really fun to watch. It's like Rock'em Sock'em robots that you played as a kid. There's something really cathartic about watching robots fight.
Anyway, I fact-checked myself. Blumhouse did produce Whiplash.
Boom.
So
this means that M3GAN has a higher rating on Rotten Tomatoes than Whiplash. So critics really love this movie.
I do think over time that tomato score could go down.
I hope so.
Because I do think this movie is being graded on a curve because like it's a really
January
good
movie.
It's good for a January movie. It's never boring, I don't think. Ian thinks it's boring, but I was never bored.
Yeah, it kept me interested when M3GAN was doing shit. But whenever it was anything else, I was just thinking about what kind of groceries I needed for next day. So...
Yeah, I mean, this movie has a really good script. I really like Akilah Cooper. I think her work is really funny, and I want her to keep on making more movies.
But the director just didn't get it, man.
I wish the director understood that this should be camp and ridiculous. And it's really only... It's really the only things that are like camp and ridiculous are things that are written into the script. It feels like there's nothing like really like you mentioned the boss. Like he's like he is like funny in that self-aware way. Like he's a comedian trying to be funny when really he should be funny because the character is ridiculous.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. This is a guy who's running a toy company, competing with Fisher-Price, and he wants to be up there with Tesla. Like...
Okay, so what are we going to rate this from 1 to 5, guys?
I gave it a 3.5 stars on Letterboxd.
Okay. Collin?
I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd.
I'm going to go with the harsh. I'm giving it 2 stars.
M3GAN's going to come after you. M3GAN's coming after you.
That's great. And I'm going to just be fine because I can kick a little toy doll.
Ian, I really hope that one day you're going to be approached to make a M3GAN sequel.
M3GAN.
Me? Yeah, sure.
I really hope that happens.
Yeah, and look, I'm gonna say yes, but
I really want there to be another M3GAN movie because I like the character of M3GAN. I just want them to have a different director because this guy doesn't know what he's doing.
yeah, absolutely.
How do you think they're gonna bring back M3GAN? Are they just gonna build a new one and be like, it's fine, the same software, it's fine, doesn't matter?
They'll probably do some bullshit where it's like she's finally upgraded to her final form or something like that.
No, what I think is that a terrorist organization is going to get the code for M3GAN. And so instead of making a toy, they're actually trying to make a killing weapon. But M3GAN still has the memory of the little girl, Katy Ryan, and wants to find her again. And so, like, she kills, like, the entire terrorist camp and tries to get back to America to find Katy again. This would make a great sequel, guys.
All right.
So, what's our next?
In the bedroom?
In the bedroom. Collin, this was your pick. When it started off?
Do you want to tell your story about meeting Todd Field first?
I would love to. So, Ian... For some reason, Ian had, I don't know if he's found a loophole or something like that, but he gets these tickets for these wonderful screening events. And I'm right when I say this, right, Ian?
I don't know where the fuck they came from, so I'm just happy I get them.
You just signed up for enough things and then you get passes to stuff?
Why not, right?
We just get free passes. Yeah, you know? And so... Ian invited me to go to this thing, and it was on 57th Street in New York, and it was in one of the bougiest hotels that I've ever been in. And when we went down there, like, everything was provided for us. Like there was free drinks, there was free finger food, there was free popcorn. It was
what kind of finger food? Well, were there pigs in a blanket?
Yes.
No. Oh, wait, yeah, afterwards.
Afterwards.
Yeah, afterwards, after the movie.
Were there little spring rolls?
Yes, afterwards.
Okay.
But anyway, Ian and I had never seen a Todd Field movie before. This is our first time. And Ian, I think that I can speak for both of us when I say that we were utterly blown away by Tar.
Tar was fucking incredible. That's the best way to describe it.
I was not prepared for that movie to be that good. I thought it was just going to be another prestige, like quote-unquote, prestige movie where a famous actor plays like a person in the classical music world and she realizes, oh no, my love for my art has kept me away from my family so long. It's time to reconnect with my family.
No, actually, her love for her art has turned her into a monster. And,
yeah, she's
not even the love for her art, the love for herself, her ego.
Love of herself and like her just skill level has put her at a place where she can do whatever the hell she wants with nothing stopping her until now.
Repercussions
until it does.
Until this
It's a Me Too movie.
Yeah, it totally is a Me Too movie, and what I really like about that too is that it's a Me Too movie with a female antagonist. You know what I mean? Because generally when we think of Me Too, we think of monsters like Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein, and there was a gigantic backlash from the Me Too movement, where it was just like, men are garbage, men only want one thing and it's fucking disgusting, etc., etc. We've all seen the memes and so forth. And this movie just shows that it's not only just men and their inherently, admittedly disgusting sex drive that drives them to do these horrendous things. It says that sometimes if you don't have humility and you don't recognize that you're expendable, power can corrupt absolutely.
Yeah, it's not about sexism, it's about power. I mean, like, these aren't like as gigantic of examples, but it's like, you know, Ellen DeGeneres is an asshole who got away with a lot. Katy Perry has been kind of a creep around younger men.
Really?
Yeah, like there's oh yeah, I was just kind of like okay, I can give you a couple examples.
Give me one because we have to keep moving on this.
Yeah, we're supposed to be talking about In the Bedroom, and we're still talking about Tar right now. Give me this Katy Perry thing. I'm intrigued by this Katy Perry thing.
Do you remember YouTube Live?
Yes, I do, and it was a nightmare.
Like the very first like live broadcast YouTube did, and it was like a big concert thing. Okay, so Bo Burnham was up, right? It was like Bo Burnham's performance on YouTube Live, and Katy Perry was like introing him, and Katy Perry's like, and our next performer is Bo Burnham, and he got famous, and he's done all these things, and so, and he's only 18. Thank God he's 18 at least.
Oh,
and like Bo looks visibly uncomfortable.
That's not bad.
That's not.
No, but
that
swap
is not
the genders.
taxable.
Swap the genders. Imagine if a man said that to a girl.
But imagine if Katy Perry said, "Good thing I get to fuck this guy."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had a major crush on her
just,
when I was 15.
For sure.
If Katy Perry made
swap
a
the
public
genders.
joke, if Katy
Swap
Perry
the
made a
genders.
public joke saying, "Good thing I get to fuck Collin now," that would be the proudest moment of my entire life.
Yeah, but like after some time, wouldn't you feel like a little used for a bit? You know?
No.
Not at
Katy
all.
right.
Perry.
It's Katy Perry.
Katy
Perry's
Perry.
Katy Perry has some big boobs, but she's not like the hottest.
She's beautiful.
Person.
You take
All right.
that
She is
back,
pristine,
you
my
bastard.
man. She is pristine.
She's like a Target mom now. Like that's her vibe now.
Okay, she's a sexy
like, very
ass Target
tacky.
mom.
She's
So you're
tacky.
saying she's a MILF?
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of MILFs,
Speaking of MILFs,
Speaking of
we got
MILF,
a movie that
about
pretends
that.
it's a movie that from the first scene just makes it seem like it's a delightful romance about how great it is to have a MILF in your life.
Yeah.
That beginning scene is so pristine, so beautiful. I didn't know my body was capable of producing that much serotonin until I watched that scene.
it is very
And
nice.
It's
I
so
daydreamed
nice.
myself as
Who
that
doesn't?
character.
Who doesn't want to run through a field with Marissa Tomei?
And just
Yeah.
sleep under a tree. Like it was just lovely, absolutely lovely.
And then the movie happened.
And then the movie happened. But it
Yeah.
doesn't. The twist doesn't happen immediately either. You know
spoilers,
what I mean?
by the way. Is it spoiler warning?
There's
Oh,
gonna be a
yeah.
whole spoiler thing for this movie.
Yeah, if you
so-
don't want to be spoiled for In the Bedroom, skip to the time code listed in the description. We'll deal with that time code thing later. All
Yeah.
right. You want to get? Do we want to get into like the big twist?
Oh god.
Yeah,
that
we'll get
twist-
into the big
that shocked
twist,
the
so-
shit out of me, man.
Basically, like the whole deal with what this movie's about is, it takes place in Maine. Young guy, getting ready to go to college, is having a summer. He tells his mom it's just a summer fling with Marissa Tomei's character, who's like, literally a MILF. She is a mother of young children, and she is hot. But that's not her whole character that she's hot. Like this is a well-developed character.
No,
but
this is
she-
Todd Field writing.
Yeah,
And
it's
Todd
good. It's
Field
good
is
writing.
a great writer.
It's not
But-
Collin Weir writing.
Yeah, and it's not Ross Stern writing either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine would be very much dumber. Okay, so Marissa Tomei is dating this young guy, and she has an ex-husband who is a dick and is not very happy about Marissa Tomei dating this guy, and also
Or dating any guy.
the name of the kid is Frank. So like Frank's mom's not too into this. Frank's dad is
Yeah.
like pretty chill with it. He kind of wishes
He's kind of proud of his son.
yeah, in the barbecue scene, he's like, "Man, dude, I sure wish I had that in my youth,"
Yeah.
which is
Which
like
was good.
He's a proud
any
father.
dad would be like that,
Yeah, if my dad saw me dating Marissa Tomei now, he'd be like, shit.
So what the twist is Marissa Tomei's ex-husband fucking kills the main character 30 minutes into the movie.
Yeah,
fucking
that was
shoots
a
him.
fucking shocker.
I did not expect that.
But there was a little bit of foreshadowing, too.
Was there?
There was, because they had that altercation earlier on.
Black eye, yeah.
And Sissy Spacek, Frank's mom is like, I need to call the police because for all we know, he can shoot you next time. She says
Yeah.
that.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, that is good foreshadowing.
But like, we as the audience are just like, This is some asshole guy from New England, since this is in Maine, who likes the Red Sox too much, who just drinks too much, and who just slaps the kid around sometimes. He's not homicidal. He won't shoot the kid, you know?
He's just kind of a dick.
He's just kind of a dick.
And then he shoots the kid.
And it's funny, because when they introduce the character, his name's Richard, he's wearing the dorkiest clothes of all time. And he's in a white shot. So, like,
and he's like, the way he walks is like so, like, it's very swingy.
It's very swingy. Like,
he walks like a kid.
Todd Field is really giving us a red herring here. Because, like, he's really making him seem like a totally non-threatening character. And then, who's just, like, really angry, but, like, he just needs to blow off steam. And then, we get the call from Natalie's kid that daddy's home and he's trying to beat up mommy. And Frank, being the good young lad that he is, he goes over there and he fucking shoots him.
He fucking shoots him, yeah.
And that close-up right on that shot-up face was fucking shocking, honestly. I did not see that coming.
I audibly went out loud, holy shit. And it's like, I feel them, it's like, I should have known better. This is a Todd Field movie. There's gonna be a wild twist.
This isn't gonna be an enjoyable summer romance.
Yeah. I mean, I knew there was gonna be drama. Like, I knew it wouldn't just be a movie about having hot sex with Marissa Tomei. But, like, I didn't expect the main character to die in Act 1.
I was expecting this to be like Call Me By Your Name.
Yeah.
But instead, like, of Armie Hammer, it's Marissa Tomei. And
it becomes two different genres after that. First, it becomes like a drama about two parents mourning their son. And then it becomes a revenge plot.
Yeah.
A revenge thriller.
A really good one, too. Yeah.
Really good one. Oh my god.
You know what really stuck out for me, though, during the movie is the silent moments with all the characters just sort of sitting down and reflecting. It's such a terrific interpretation of just grief.
That moment where they're all playing cards.
Mm-hmm. And he's just like, fucking say something.
Yeah, just all the friends are all talking amongst themselves, not making conversation with him. He's like, just say something, just tell me something, anything. And then that the one poet guy of the group like takes a moment and he like gives this beautiful poem dedicated to him. Like, that's wow.
Yeah, no, that hurt.
Yeah. Oof.
I love the way Todd Field writes dialogue and writes screenplays in general, because he really doesn't care about having a complete scene. He just cares about the golden moment. And so each of his scenes is just this little haiku. Well, it's just the moment that matters most. And he doesn't bother introducing the characters. He doesn't bother showing them leaving the room. He just cares about the meat of the scene.
Come in late, leave early.
Exactly. And Todd Field movies, just from what I've seen of him so far, the 2 out of 3 movies of his that I've seen.
Yeah, we gotta watch. Little Children is on HBO.
I've actually seen Little Children. I didn't know he did that.
Oh, how is Little Children?
Oh, that's fantastic, man. That's really fucking good.
Okay, well, congratulations. You've seen 100% of Todd Field's filmography.
Yeah!
You are a Todd Field completist.
Well, Todd Field, his directorial work, he is also an actor.
He's also a great actor. Yeah.
He was Nick Nightingale in Eyes Wide Shut.
Yep.
He can play piano blindfolded while people fuck behind him.
Why not? It pays the bills.
Did you know he was also the co-founder? He co-invented Big League Chew.
No shit.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, he was like in he was in Little League Baseball. He was like 12 or 13. And like him and his friend like came up with the idea. They bought a kit to make like a kit of ingredients on how to make bubble gum, and they like shredded it up and put it in a bag, and they sold it to Wrigley. And when I first heard this, I thought that like, oh, so that's how he got his millions, so he can just make movies every now and then when he feels like it. No, not really. Because he was on, if you listen to the What the Fuck podcast with Mark Maron, he's on the newest episode. He explains that no, that's not what happened. It's just a cool story. He didn't make he didn't strike a deal with Wrigley, so he's forever rich. He just
Yeah.
sold the idea to Wrigley, and that was it.
And by the way, Todd
Yeah.
Field hasn't just been sitting on his ass for the past 16 years. He's been trying really hard to get a lot of different projects off the ground, and people haven't been biting. You know,
Yeah.
so Tall was the first project that he was finally allowed to direct, but he's got so many scripts ready to go.
Because I wish we asked him a little bit more about, like, what kind of projects. Are they dramas? Are they, like, big blockbusters or something?
There was,
'Cause you
from what
never
I think
know.
there was one movie, and I forget what movie it was, but it was mentioned in the Mark Maron podcast. It was there was like one movie that's based on a book that he was gonna do, but then he couldn't do it anymore, and Sam Mendes wound up doing it.
Boo!
Yeah, so Sam Mendes is a hack.
Boo!
Sam Mendes sounds familiar. What did he do?
American Beauty, 1917, a couple James Bond movies.
Oh, I love those James Bond
that
movies.
new movie, Empire of Light.
Empire of Light.
He like only makes Oscar movies. He only makes Oscar bait. He's a hack.
Yeah, not even like good Oscar movies. Like the one movie that he makes that's great, that's hard to watch these days because of Kevin Spacey in it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's a
It's,
pedo in that too, right? So
he's a-
Yeah,
She's
so
a pedo
it
in
makes
that.
sense. It was
makes
a
more sense.
foreshadowing.
It's typecasting.
Yes, it's typecasting. Of course it is.
when they were casting, they're like, he just kind of gives off a pedo-y vibe. He's probably a creep.
Oh no! The sad thing is everyone knew about what Kevin Spacey was doing for a very long time. It's the same thing with Harvey Weinstein. Everyone knew that Harvey Weinstein was an asshole since his first movie, like the 1988 Slash of the Burning. So it wasn't even like power corrupted Harvey Weinstein. He was
Total
just an
side note.
inherently terrible guy. Yeah, Ian?
The Burning's really good. Just as a side note, I know it was made by a terrible monster, but it's good.
Well, guys, we're missing a big important factor since we're talking about Harvey Weinstein and Me Too, and also in the bedroom. This is a Miramax movie produced by Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, shit.
In the
Yes.
bedroom.
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
And there's a great story that circulated recently about, and it's also talked about in this Mark Maron podcast I listened to today. Basically, the movie hit Sundance, and we did the thing after getting all the Sundance acclaim of like trying to sell it to various studios, and like no one would take it, and then Miramax took it, right? And then Harvey Weinstein is trying to do his usual Harvey Weinstein thing of like editing the movie to bits and like completely changing it to try and make it as sellable as possible.
Yeah, he fucked up Halloween 6 so bad, dude.
So Todd Field is like having a breakdown. He's crying in the bathroom because of Harvey Weinstein's trying to destroy his movie, his debut feature. And so he calls up his best friend. I don't know his best friend. His very good friend, Tom Cruise.
Eyes Wide Shut. They were both on Eyes Wide Shut, baby.
Yeah, and also Tom. If I were friends with Tom Cruise, I would ask for his advice on everything.
Oh, of
yeah.
course. The man's the
Except,
man.
except for finding the best religion. But,
let's cut that part out.
Nah. We're keeping it in. Keep it in. Fuck the Church of Scientology.
all right.
Anyway,
I'll sue you.
so Harvey Weinstein's about to chop up Todd Field's movie. Todd Field is freaking out. He calls up Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is like, Todd, it'll take you 6 months, but you got to do exactly this, okay? All right. So basically, what he tells Todd is that just do whatever Harvey Weinstein wants. Make all the edits. Just keep editing. Like maybe be like, oh, we should edit that thing instead, right? And keep showing each new cut that he does with Weinstein to test audiences. And the test audiences are going to hate it, right? So just keep doing re-edits over and over again for 6 months, and keep getting bad test audience scores, right? And then after 6 months, say, you know what? Maybe we had something with the first cut. Let's do a test with that and see what they think.
What a fucking genius.
And then this is Tom Cruise's advice. He's a genius because he's in the producing game and he's worked with Weinstein, And
The galaxy brain.
yeah, he is Galaxy
Very
Brain. He's got
nice.
that. He's on that Xenu shit.
He's on the Xenu.
So yeah, they test the version that showed at Sundance. They love it. Now it can be released in its original form. So it's just 6 months of editing for no reason, just to go back to the first one. So basically, he was just like kissing Harvey Weinstein's ass for 6 months, saying, "Yeah, sure, you know what? Let's cut this thing out too. Let's get rid of that." And it's like, I love that. That's a great story.
Surprise, motherfucker.
That's a great piece of advice for
Hell
working
yeah.
with terrible producers. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
do think the fact that he has experience with Weinstein does give a lot of context to Tar,
Oh, yeah.
for sure. Really, really interesting fella.
Yeah.
I mean, this also really helps our conversation about the burning.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know what the
we're literally
burning is.
It's Harvey Weinstein's first producer credit.
Oh, okay.
Because we're literally talking about a Harvey Weinstein produced film right now in the bedroom. So if we're saying that we're not going to discuss any Harvey Weinstein movies on this podcast,
Oh no, it's impossible to not discuss Harvey Weinstein.
you know what I mean? Like,
Can I fucking rant about what he did to Halloween 6 just for a smidge, just for a little smidge? Okay, so let me have
this is
this
going to go on
moment.
for a very long time.
That's
It's
what
not
that's
gonna-
what they're they're listening for our personalities. This is part of it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Halloween 5 sucked. It just did. So they had to do like a 6-year-long trek until the next one. So why did it take that long? Because there were so many different drafts, so many different scripts, and eventually the rights for Halloween gave out. So what they had to do was Miramax and Dimension Films, they picked it up. So Harvey Weinstein and his brother, I believe Bob Weinstein, right? That's the
Yeah,
brother's name?
I believe it's
Okay.
Bob.
So they get it. They're all excited. And they all want to do it. Like, oh, yeah, it's going to be great. Doing a Halloween movie. It'll be fun. Like a resurgence to Michael Myers and all that kind of shit. And Mustafa Akkad, who was sort of the godfather of the whole series, he was from, like, producing from the first movie all the way until his passing. I think the last one he did was Resurrections. But during this whole production, the Weinsteins would consistently call about dailies that they didn't like. They wanted this, not that, like cut this, cut that, do this, do that. So many different nonsensical things that made zero sense to everyone involved. And eventually they just took the movie, edited it to shit, and they put all like stupid, like, oh, super flashy cuts, this, that, here, there, like a white flash here, a white flash there, and added more gore at the end for absolutely no reason outside of it to be gory, which I don't mind, but at the same time it ruins the suspense factor of it. And even Danielle Harris, who played a main character in Halloween 4 and 5, she was all set, like, hey, man, I can't wait to do, the next one. And her character, just spoilers for Halloween 6, gets fucking killed off in the first 15 minutes of the movie. And, I mean, as a fan of the series, I was pissed. And just knowing that this tanked so bad and just almost destroyed the franchise up until Jamie Lee Curtis came back for Halloween, or H2O. So, fuck the Weinsteins with all the crazy shit they did, but also, it just irks me of what they did to Halloween.
Like, it just sounds like Harvey isn't a good filmmaker.
No.
This is what Harvey Weinstein's skill is marketing, because he basically invented Oscar bait. Like, his whole business model became, we can make more money if we make a movie that wins a bunch of Oscars, because there's like a statistic at the time that said, like, after a movie wins, an Academy Award, then people go back again to the theaters, or people that didn't see it before go to the theaters to see it, and it does even better, right?
Yeah.
So, like, he kind of invented the whole idea of, like, Taylor making these films to win Oscars, and that's why, like, movies like Crash exist. Not the Cronenberg one, the bad one. You know?
Yeah, or like Shakespeare in Love, or like any of those Miramax movies.
Life is Beautiful is a Miramax
that is?
distributed. It's a
okay.
Miramax distributed Italian film. I do not like Life is Beautiful, but
Mel Brooks' least favorite film.
it is.
Oh, wow.
Mine too.
If you ask Mel Brooks what his least favorite movie is, it's
Life is Beautiful. I've never seen it.
Maybe we'll talk about it on the podcast someday, because it would be fun to hate watch it again.
Ross, if you make us watch Life is Beautiful, I'm making us watch Wild Hogs.
What's Wild Hogs?
You don't know Wild Hogs, my friend?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I am just gonna release
Wait, hogs
an
or hawks?
asshole. Hogs, like pigs. Like wild hogs.
Let me
What-
sure.
what's that
Oh
about?
my god, it is. Oh no.
What's that? What is it?
Look, Ross, we need to get back on topic, but I'm saying if you make us watch Life is Beautiful, I have an atomic bomb in my back pocket too.
Oh my
and it's
god.
It's called Wild Hogs, and I will unleash it.
It's like Tim Allen, John Travolta. They're like bikers. Is it like a comedy?
God, that was
It's
shit.
like- it does look pretty bad.
Don't make me unleash Wild Hogs. I will.
It could make for good content.
Jesus
could make for
Christ,
good
Star
content.
Cracker.
Anything for the podcast.
So we're making a pact. We're making a suicide pact. If I recommend Life is Beautiful, then you have to recommend Wild Hogs.
Yeah, why not?
Well, now it seems like something that now it seems
Now
like
it's
something
planned.
you want to do.
I'm gonna
I'm
save
not
it for
recommending
later.
that shit.
I've got to save it for
I-
later, but
I meant that as a thread, Ross, and you seem like deeply intrigued by the idea of watching Wild Hogs. That was meant to scare you, and you're enticed by it.
I'm entitled. I enjoy bad movies. I like bad movies.
Well,
I like
of
dissecting
course.
why movies don't work. That's kind of
That's
you
fun.
don't like
Okay.
you don't
You
like bad
learn
movie
more from
podcasts.
that.
Yeah, you learn some
I
stuff.
guess.
Yeah, all right. So let's we're making a suicide pact.
Yes. We'll virtually shake hands.
Yes, we're shaking hands.
Virtually shaking hands. So, are we going to talk more about In the Bedroom, or are we just going to
course.
give? Okay, because I was like, we went on such a long ass shit.
I want to talk about the revenge plot more, because that was we haven't gone to that yet. We talked about the drama and the setup. I thought it was so heartbreaking how they humanized the killer.
Oh, that pissed me off.
No, that because that makes it more tense. Like, this is a real guy.
Who has children? He's a father.
He has his kids. Like, he really loved this woman. You know, like he had a motive. You know, this guy was fucking his wife, and you know, he loved. He has his kids' pictures like neatly frames up on the wall along his stairs. Like they're not just on the fridge; they're like neatly put up. You know, he has a nice picture of him with Marissa Tomei. You know, and so that really like highlights the weight of killing someone. You know, it's a whole life. This is a person who lived. You know.
Also, he's not proud of killing the kid either. He's not proud of killing Frank.
I know he
Like,
isn't. I don't think he is. No.
Not at all. Like, he's not some dastardly scoundrel, like, twisting his mustache who says, like, yeah, I shot that kid, and I'll do it again.
He's kind of weaseling out of taking responsibility, you know?
Which is, by the way, some really great surprise casting as Karen Allen as his lawyer. Because when I see Karen Allen, I think she's the sweetest woman of all time, and she's not going to hurt anybody. But instead, she's this evil lawyer lady who finds a loophole.
Did you witness it?
Yeah.
I would have simply been like, I witnessed it with my ears.
I would have said I witnessed it. Are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah, I would have lied on the oath.
but first she said she heard it.
Okay.
So then,
So-
but because in the report she said that she saw it, she witnessed it, and then in court she said she heard it, which is true, and then
She can't change her alibi
yeah,
now.
she can't. Yeah.
This movie is also a great critique of the American legal system.
oh, God,
It really
yeah.
is.
You know
Like
what
it
I
is.
mean?
Like it's like
Yeah.
his whole reason for getting rid of him. That at least before he kills him, because I was kind of led on to think like, oh, he's not actually gonna kill him. He's gonna give him a ticket to get out of town. Like he says, like my wife just can't take the trial anymore. She can't see you around town anymore. It's too much for her. You have to go.
Yeah.
And he's like believes him, and I believed him too. He's like, oh, thank you so much, doctor. You know.
I was really shocked when it was just like, oh, maybe he's actually going to let him go, and then all of a sudden,
like he just shoots him. Yeah,
I was
because he
like,
tried
oh,
to escape.
Fuck.
He tried to make a different turn. He tried to escape. He had to kill him, and he couldn't. He didn't have the patience to wait. He killed him.
And what's so funny is that everyone was in on it too.
Yeah, there's like a misdirect because his buddy is like, "This wasn't the plan. We were gonna take him there first."
I thought all of a sudden it was just going to be like, well, of course he knows he's bringing him over, but out of fucking nowhere, just hearing, no, we were going to shoot him in the woods. I was just like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
And even when Tom Wilkinson gets home, Sissy Spacek's first thing that she says to him is, "Did you do it yet?"
Yeah,
she co-signs this.
This wasn't a secret. Yeah, this was a secret. Yeah, it's like, God, what a good fucking movie. Great movie.
Yeah, I love how it just looks too. Almost like every shot seems like a painting in this.
Yeah.
Yes. It's beautiful to look at.
How did it look on the DVD you bought?
Oh yeah,
it looks great. I was totally happy with the transfer, and I was totally happy with everything about that DVD. Even the back packaging, it didn't give away the twist at all. It says, but when a tragic circumstance happens, they have to reevaluate their lives.
Act 1 of the movie frames it like the sun's gonna be in the whole movie and not dying.
The movie opens with the sun. They set him up as the protagonist. I really thought that there would be a scene with the song "Won't Back Down" from Back to the Barnyard, where he faces up to Richard, and it says like, "Look, fella, I love this woman, and I'm not leaving her." And like he says the same thing to Sissy Spacek, "Look, Mom, it's not a summer romance. I love Marissa Tomei, and I'm staying with her." Like, I thought, like, it was gonna be a movie about this guy falling madly in love with a MILF, and, like, just standing up to all the people in his life saying, "This is the woman for me." Mm-hmm. And it's not that at all. He dies 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like this is exactly how it would go down for me if I was dating a MILF.
Okay.
This is a cautionary tale.
Don't date
This is a cautionary tale.
It's a bad idea. You're gonna piss off her ex-husband and get shot.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Very
also, like,
true.
that, the whole thing with, like, the father approving and the mom not approving. Mm-hmm. That feels...
Oh my God.
That would totally... Yeah, that would be me for sure.
I was thinking of, like...
And there's one scene before the revenge plot happens where Sissy Spacek and Tom Wilkinson are just arguing with each other. And they're both trying to blame each other for their son's death. And it was so real that I felt like I was there and I should close the door because I shouldn't be listening into it. Like, that scene just felt so palpable and so realistic that I felt ashamed of being there. Mm-hmm. Because I felt like I shouldn't be listening into such a personal conversation. Like, it was truly one of the most powerful scenes that I've seen.
Well, it's like the title, though. In the bedroom, keep it in the bedroom, just sort of like behind closed doors. So maybe I don't know. I'm reading into it that way, but at least that's how I see it.
There's a thing with like the lobsters.
Yeah, that's with the lobsters. But I'm just saying, from those scenes, I just sort of feel like. Those more private moments. You never want, like, super private shit to just randomly be out. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to shout my frustrations from my therapy sessions in the middle of the street.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Also, it's also a really interesting choice for a title.
In the bedroom.
Because In the Bedroom it made I know it made Collin think this was going to be a really hot movie. Right?
I did.
And
I did.
Yeah, it was going to be
guilty
like,
as charged.
Like maybe like somewhat of a sexual thriller maybe, but but there isn't really any sex. The only hint of sex is like you see Marissa Tomei and Frank come out of Frank's bedroom and she kind of has some sex hair going on.
And she's giggling and stuff like that.
Yeah, like so it's like we see them walk out of a room after playing around, but we don't really see any sex. But like this is based on a book, and the title of this book I think would have given away too much of the plot. Can you guess what the? Don't look it up. Can you guess what the title
The
is?
Killings, right?
Yeah, you already know
I
this,
watched the
right?
movie.
You already no, you watched the. You remember the credits. All right.
It was an opening title card.
I was hoping you would have get.
I bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was in the end title card.
Yeah, it was in the end title card, not the beginning.
Yeah, because this is what I'm saying.
was
Is
it
like
beginning?
if people know that this is based on a book called Killings, not The Killings, just Killings. Then people are gonna be like, "Oh, there's gotta be some killings in this."
So,
Meanwhile, with a title like "In the Bedroom," I did not go in thinking there were gonna be killings.
I thought this was going to be Call Me By Your Name with MILFs. That's truly what I
Would've been
believed.
great.
Where is the "Call Me by Your Name" for straight people?
we should make it.
That is all we ask for.
We should do it.
Yes, because there have never been movies made for the straight demographic.
Never.
There's never been movies made for straight white men. We are an unspoken group.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, though, are there any movies that show a positive relationship between a young guy and an older woman?
Well, there was one in Friends where Phoebe's brother starts dating his former high school teacher, and that was pretty positive.
Yeah.
But I guess in terms
But
of
I'm thinking
movies
about
like this,
the Graduate. Definitely not a healthy
oh
relationship.
god,
Yeah, or what other movies? What other MILF movies are there?
You got a good point, Ross. I'm looking up MILFs under under Letterboxd lists, and these are all pretty tragic movies.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like there's tons of movies where it's an older guy with a younger woman, and it's like perfectly cool. You know,
Yeah.
every Woody Allen movie.
As good as it gets.
as good as it gets.
Yeah.
It's a terrible Jack Nicholson impression, but I tried.
I thought you were doing like a greasy old Italian man from
Well,
like,
this is
New
as good as it gets. What the fuck you talking about? As good as it gets.
But anyway, I have finally uncovered a movie where an older woman falls in love with a younger. It's a lonely 40-year-old woman who falls in love with a 14-year-old boy.
And this is a good.
no.
This is framed as a good thing.
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Probably not.
It's by Agnes Varda.
Oh,
It's called Kung Fu Master.
Kung Fu Master.
tough.
Kung Fu Master by Agnes Varda.
What
A
the?
lonely, a lonely 40-year-old woman finds herself shattering taboos by falling in love with a 14-year-old Julian. But is it romance or a desperate attempt to turn back time in the face of middle age? But like you said, Ross, like there's no movie where like a 20-year-old man falls in love with a 40-year-old woman.
And it turns out okay.
And it turns out okay.
Like, yeah, there's no positive depictions of, and that's probably because it's not a healthy form of a relationship. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But there's so many movies where a younger woman marries a man much older than her, and it turns out perfectly okay.
Well, like what? Give me like an example of like I know for a fact. I'm just trying to think of one off the top of my head. It's just so common you can't think of one.
Yeah, like any Nancy Meyers movie, any Woody Allen movie. I
Yeah.
feel like Steve Martin has definitely appeared in some.
oh god,
like,
yeah.
It's also like it's never acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an age gap
Yeah.
between the actors, and we just pretend the characters are around the same age.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, what do we think? How many stars would we give In the Bedroom?
I'm giving it a big old 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, earlier I rated it a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd, but this talk about it made me like it a lot more. So, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I love movies that get better the more you think about them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And this is definitely one of those films. Like I've been thinking a lot about Damien Chazelle's Babylon, and the more I think about it, the worse that it gets, and it's a shame.
That's what I
Because
told you. That's what I told you.
I really enjoyed viewing it. I had a ball watching Babylon. That was a blast. But nevertheless, when I go home and I think about the film, I'm like, this doesn't hold
It's
up.
depressing,
This-
right? It's just a bummer.
Not only that, but the characters just don't feel fully fleshed. It's very self-indulgent, of course, but the montage at the end is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's a lot wrong with the movie, and the more you think about it, the dumber it gets. But with a Todd Field movie, and clearly he's taken some inspiration from his big hero Stanley Kubrick, who he worked on with in Eyes Wide Shut. The more you think about a Todd Field movie, the more layers are revealed. Like, I know for a fact that if we all sat down and watched In the Bedroom again tonight, we would uncover more things about this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
And also,
You know what I mean?
and also a lot like Kubrick is like, there's a lot of space between each movie he does. You know,
Yeah.
he's going at a pace of like
Yeah.
he's going at just like Kubrick. He's basically going at a pace of one per decade, on average. And so,
Well, I think he wants full creative control.
Yeah,
And I think
well, no,
that's why all these projects have fell through.
I mean, yeah, and also I think it is just
Yeah.
about like just a long pre-production process and like a long time finding the right project as well. Because there was a bunch of stuff he did. He was working on before Tar that he couldn't get off the
yeah.
ground, and then he finally gets to do Tar. You know, which I think is just a pandemic script. He just wrote Tar during lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he talked about the Q&A.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we should talk about what Todd Field said to me and Ian.
Oh, that's right. That's the most important part of the story, and we didn't get to that.
We didn't.
We didn't get to that.
Yeah,
we didn't get to that.
Okay, tell us.
So,
Get to that part.
so Todd Field gave a great Q&A, but like every Q&A, it was cut way too short. I don't know why they do this, but the person running the Q&A is always just like, well, that's all the time we have for tonight. And the director was just like, I've only answered like 3 questions.
Yeah, like, what the
do you
fuck,
mean? And
bro?
she's like, I said that's all the time we have for tonight.
Yeah, like, are they gonna kick
it's-
us out?
yeah.
Like, what's the like? We can
Yeah,
go
it's
longer,
like we own the venue.
Yeah.
You guys own the venue. We can go for longer.
If the director's game, yeah, like
Yeah, it's absurd. But
Either way.
anyway, so we were in the lobby. There was a lot of people in the lobby. A lot of great finger food. Ian can tell you I had a blast with that finger food.
He literally ate
And-
most of the hot dogs they had in that building. So,
Yeah.
and there was this waiter who kept coming back, and Collin would be like, nope, come here.
Yeah, but I would tell this waiter that I wasn't done with him yet.
Yep.
I mean, like if like some bad thing happens to me within the next few weeks, I would understand it's karma coming back to me for how I treated that waiter, who I think was a
get to the part where you talk to Todd Field. We're getting off subject.
Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah. Okay. So Todd Field was in the lobby, surrounded by a whole lot of people, and Ian and I were like, okay, we should go up and say hi to Todd. And so I ran up to Todd Field, and I didn't know how to introduce myself, so I said, "Hello, Todd. I'm Collin Weir." And he said, "Hi, I'm Todd Field." I don't know what I don't know why I introduced myself as Collin Weir. Like maybe a part of me thought he was gonna say, "Oh wait, the Collin Weir?" Like
I've seen Guardian Banshee at the.
I've seen Guardian Banshee.
It wouldn't even been possible for him to seen it, right? For him to have seen it, right?
Yeah, it wasn't even on YouTube
Yeah.
yet. I've seen Branch Book and Foe on their YouTube channel with 26 subscribers. It's one of my favorites. But anyway, I guess I wanted to be really formal and really respectful, so I said, "Hey, hello, I'm Collin Weir," and he said, "Hey, I'm Todd Field." And so I just asked him, like, "So Todd, how'd you get to this point in your career where you could make this massive movie about this world-renowned composer and you know have these huge concert venues and stuff like that?" Because me and my buddies are still having a hard time just securing a freaking coffee shop, you know. And he said to me, it takes a long time, and you have to pay your dues for a very, very long time. And he didn't direct his first short film until he was over 30 years old.
So we beat him to that because
Yeah,
we
definitely.
directed our short films in our teens and 20s.
Yeah.
And so he said to me, like he was like a Zen Buddha master, and I was like this impatient young little disciple, and I'm just like, I want to get to where you are, master. And he was just like, patience, you know. He told me that I was right where I needed to be, and that I shouldn't try to rush the process. And I love that. That was some of the best advice anyone has ever given me.
That is really good advice.
Like, he's just a great guy. I love Todd so much.
And I said to him, "Hi, I'm Ian," and he just went, "I'm Todd." He was nice. He was really cool, though.
He was really cool.
He just seemed like somebody who knew everything and just knew exactly what to say at that point in time.
He does seem like a really smart and chill guy from what I've watched and listened to. So, is now the time for us to talk about the short film we're working on?
Yay!
And we have a hard time securing a coffee shop for
All right.
Yay!
Yeah. So, Ian, do you want to pitch it since you're director?
Since I'm directing it, so Cosmic Coffee, that's what the film's called, is about a family who is refusing to sell their coffee shop to a few corporate greedy kind of guys, and only one of the family members caves in after one of them has a heart attack. And
let's just say that there's something otherworldly about these corporate guys coming in on the coffee shop.
Spooky.
Called Cosmic Coffee.
The little green around the gills, you could say.
Yeah, there's no twists in this movie.
No.
Trust us.
No twists in this film, buddy.
It's a very fun sci-fi horror film that I'm really excited to work with these two on, because it's the first time that, we're really starting something from scratch and doing it together.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it, and I think you two are too, for the most part.
Yeah, I want to give a breakdown.
Sure.
Me and Collin are writing it.
Mm-hmm.
We're co-writers.
Yes.
Collin is like the main money guy. He's lead producer.
Yeah.
We're all kind of producers on it. Collin's the main producer. And then
I'm the guy that they hand paperwork to and says, "Here, you do it."
That's your job.
And
that's my job.
I'm in charge of post production. I'm editing and all that.
And I'm directing.
And yeah, right now we're in pre-production. My least favorite part as a post-production guy.
I just want to shoot the fucking thing because I'm really excited about this script.
Yeah, we're trying to lock down a coffee shop so we can shoot the coffee shop scenes. And we're constantly rewriting the script to make it work right. We need to make it shorter. We need to move these scenes to a different location, etc., etc.
Well, the script in and of itself is a good script for what it is right now.
Yeah,
but
it's got a great structure.
What we've been revising it is just the shootability of it.
Yeah.
We're trying to use as little money as we can to shoot this film.
We're probably going to do a crowdfunding. Yeah.
It's a go-go. Yeah.
Yeah. Stay tuned for more updates. Keep listening to the podcast and stay tuned for updates. We'll let you know when we're starting our crowdfunding campaign. We'd love for you to help us out, and also subscribe to this YouTube channel, Stray Dog Media. If you're listening to the podcast on YouTube, hit subscribe, and so that way we can we'll get in the algorithm, we'll get spread around, and then we'll have an audience for when the film finally gets released online.
And it's gonna kick ass.
We want to get as many eyes on this thing as possible. It's going to be going on to this YouTube channel, Stray Dog Media. This is very confusing if you're not listening to this through YouTube.
We apologize if you're listening to this on Podbean or Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, whatever the hell.
Also, we're on... I got us set up with TuneIn.
Oh.
And something else. Cool. I forget. I'm slowly trying to get us on all the things, except for maybe Spotify.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, guys, we're excited about this movie. This is like our first film where the training wheels are off.
Yeah, which is scary as shit, but at the same time,
we made all our short films in the in a college environment where you get access.
A college environment. Well, you get access to equipment. You don't have to rent equipment.
And not just equipment, but also feedback from peers.
Yeah.
Feedback from peers.
I'll get to reading that. Don't worry about it. I'll read it. No worries. Yeah, sure.
and not only that, but it counts as coursework if you work on other people's films.
Yeah.
Now, we're supposed to be paying the people who are working for us.
And that's why we're stray dogs.
We're stray dogs. That's why.
We're stray dogs.
We don't have any into the filmmaking world. We are stray dogs on the highway of filmmaking, and we're trying to get onto, a nice red van that'll just be like with a good redneck who says to us, "Hey, you want to hop in the back of my van and we're just a stray dog who's like, would I? And like our tongue is flying as we're racing down the highway.
We're dogs in this story, not
we're dogs.
We
are dogs.
We're not trying to get into the van of a redneck in a pickup truck as humans.
Yes,
we're
as humans,
not as humans, as dogs.
We're talking about the metaphor.
Yes.
We're setting up a good metaphor here about film distribution being like a redneck in a red wagon.
I don't know
just
about
like,
that.
Hey, hop along.
I feel that
it feels a little gross. I don't know.
Actually, you know what? Cut this entire part out.
No, keeping that.
We're cutting this out.
No, I think the metaphor is still like we're trading wheels off, and that's what makes us stray dogs.
Yes. It's time to talk about the next movies we're going to be talking about.
Yes.
Yes, so.
All right, so Ross, take it away with the film that's currently in theaters that we're going to be watching.
We're all going to try our best to see Skinamarink, the newest experimental horror film that somehow has a pretty wide release. From what I've heard, it's like genuinely scary. Like even horror people are getting freaked out by this. A friend of mine told me that like he's glad I didn't see the movie with him because I would have lost respect for him. People are coming out of this movie crying like babies because it's like bringing them back to their childhood fears.
That's great.
So yeah, Skinamarink. And then Ian, it's your turn to give a recommendation, right?
Oh, you guys are probably going to hate me for what I'm going to put in, but I haven't watched it in so long and I need a refresher.
Okay.
I enjoy, for the most part, some of Zack Snyder's movies, and I'm going to say we watch The Watchmen.
Yeah!
All right.
Okay.
Never seen it.
That makes me excited because I was really expecting one of the DC movies.
So
I was expecting Man of Steel or Justice League or something
No.
like that. So when you said Watchmen, I'm like, okay, this is the best pick out of what he has.
and also, I am going to say we're going to be watching the ultimate cut if these two guys can get their hands on it.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah. We got to see the whole story.
How long is the ultimate cut? How long is the theatrical?
So the theatrical, I believe, is like 2 hours and 40-something minutes, and then the ultimate cut is 3.5 hours.
God damn it, Ian.
Ian.
God damn it. I had to find time in my schedule just to watch this 2 hour and 11-minute movie.
Exactly.
You know, and now I gotta watch a 3.5 hour movie.
It's not even Lawrence of Arabia. You know what I mean?
It's Watchmen.
It's not this acclaimed masterpiece. It's fucking Watchmen. You bastard.
This guy.
This
fucking guy.
This is worse than Wild Hogs.
Really? You're going to go that far?
All right. Okay.
Look, I'll say this. If you can't get your hands on the ultimate cut, then just watch the theatrical version. But I will say that I've seen the director's cut and ultimate cut. There's only like 20 minutes more than the director's cut, so either way.
Wait, so there's a theatrical, there's the director's cut, and there's the ultimate cut?
Yeah. The ultimate cut has like the entire graphic novel basically in the movie.
Okay, I kind of want to see that.
Okay, all right. So basically the theatrical cut is 2:40.
Mm-hmm.
The director's cut's around 3 hours, and then ultimate is 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll either way, it's no matter what, it's a long movie.
Yeah, no matter what. I would just suggest just trying to find the ultimate cut or the director's, so then you get it over with. I know you guys aren't like... I enjoy some of his movies. I love Dawn of the Dead, that remake. I did enjoy Legend of the Guardians. And, yeah, I when I was a teenager, the last time I saw this movie all the way through was when I was like 14, 15, something like that. So, and I loved it back then, so maybe my feelings of it will change, but I'm excited to finally see just everything of it.
I am begrudgingly intrigued to watch Watchmen.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a similar boat, Ian. I remember when I was 10, I thought this was the most kick-ass movie of all time.
Right.
Yeah. And so...
I never saw it. I was never like a big Snyder person. I think the only Snyder movie I've seen is probably his cut of Justice League,
which is pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good. It was a cool vibe. Yeah, no, I have nothing against. I don't really have anything against Zack Snyder personally.
I just think the scripts that he has don't always work. I mean, like Man of Steel and Batman v Superman are the obvious examples, but there's that and Sucker Punch, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
Yeah, we're gonna have an entire episode talk about Zachy,
dedicated to Zach.
Good old Zachy, man. So,
good old Zachy.
Once again, everyone, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being part of the Stray Dog Pack. We look forward to chiming in with you guys next week for Skinamarink.
And the Watchmen.
And the Watchmen Ultimate Cut.
Yep. Oh, and real quick, I want to give a shout out to Christine Joy for making our artwork for the YouTube channel. Thank you, Christine. You drew us as very handsome boys.
You did. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday.
We'll hear you or listen
to
you
next Tuesday.
You will hear us. You will hear us next Tuesday.
You will hear us next Tuesday.
You will hear us.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Later. Live long and prosper, people.